Going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing my Brooklyn Nets off-season predictions video, and let's get right into it. We heard Ben Simmons is out for 3 to 4 months with the microdiscectomy surgery to alleviate the herniated disc in his back. So before we start today's video, obviously like and subscribe for 150 videos a month. I'm over here in the library. It's like 6 in the morning. Wanted to make this, but let's get right into it. I want to hear your comments down below. What are your predictions? What will the Brooklyn Nets do? Why will they do it? And how will they do it? I want to hear all your thoughts down below. So let's get right into it and let's talk about it. First off, the biggest offseason priority for the Brooklyn Nets, which I expect them to do, is to look for younger and more athletic players, especially on the wing. Guys who can play shooting guard, small forward, and power forward, the 3, the 4, the 2. And it's because the Boston Celtics exposed some of the Brooklyn Nets roster flaws and highlighted Kevin Durant's, loss of athleticism. He's like lost a step. That's because of the Achilles injury. And two-way players are needed on the Brooklyn Nets roster, not just shooters, but guys who can shoot and defend, 3-and-D guys, to be simple. And I know that's very layman, that's very, very simple, but that's what they need to do. And right now, they're projected to have the 23rd pick in the draft, and they're going to have options of Tari Eason, Walker Kessler, Patrick Baldwin, Jake LaRavia, Kendall Brown, Bryce McGowens, Blake Wesley, Jalen Williams, Marjon Beauchamp, Dalen Terry, Kennedy Chandler, Jaden Hardy. All those guys right there are potentially guys who will be available in that range at 23, and I expect them to go and get themselves a forward or a guy who's a wing, but I really expect them to get a guy who can play multiple positions and is NBA ready. So maybe they will draft a guy who is a little bit older than you would expect. But either way, let's talk about this. We were expecting Ben Simmons to make his debut with the Brooklyn Nets trailing 3-0, but then, he didn't. And he missed game 4, and they lost. Now look, Steve Nash talked in the post-game press conference of game 4 how health could solve some of the Nets' problems from this past season, basically implying that if Ben Simmons and Joe Harris were there. Joe Hart's a goalkeeper, former English goalkeeper. Joe Harris has a major part of it, and he's like, look, the thing is Joe Harris had 2 operations on his ankle, and he's allegedly available for trade. And I know it's scary to think because Michael Porter Jr. had microdiscectomy surgery in his lone season at Mizzou, and took him 2 more surgeries to finally be right. And he said he regretted the decision as he had 2 back surgeries since then. So it's kind of crazy to think about that. Now, while the Brooklyn Nets 2023 season doesn't solely hinge on the health of Ben Simmons, obviously they're going to bring back Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving, the most money he can make is by re-signing with the Nets. But the Celtics exposed the lack of two-way players in the playoffs, and Ben Simmons' health. So if we think of a lineup of next season, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and that's the roster right now, we can say, fully confirmed. Who is going to help fill out the roster for the rest of them? Because right now they already have $157 million in cap, and the only players they have under contract for next season is Kessler Edwards, Deron Sharp, Cam Thomas, Javon Carter. Well, Javon Carter isn't even, on the team anymore, so Javon Carter's not on the team. Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. So KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry in the starting lineup. Then maybe Deron Sharp as of right now starting. Okay, then you have off the bench, Patty Mills if he decides to accept the player option, which I expect him. Okay, Patty Mills, Cam Thomas as your 2 guards backing up, and then you have Kessler Edwards backing up Kevin Durant, and David Duke backing up Ben Simmons. You don't have a backup center. So when you look at the free agents, I expect them to go and get another center, okay, and figure out, look, they need another big man. And I'm not saying bring back Andre Drummond, because I don't think that's the right move, okay? I think the right move would be to look, Kyrie Irving has player option of like $35 plus million. He'll probably decline it and then re-sign. And they're going to go out in free agency. Maybe, I think Joseph Nurkic is going to be too expensive, but they could scour the market and look for guys, maybe see if they could get Mitchell Robinson or, a Ricky Rubio would be great. I think these are guys they should target, or a Tyus Jones. That'd be great, but honestly, they're going to target guys like Robert Covington, okay? You know, hopefully they bring back Claxton, but PJ Tucker's another guy they should target. Gary Payne II is another guy they're going to probably hopefully target. Jayshawn Tate, he might be too expensive, but Chris Boucher would be a huge help. Same thing with a Victor Oladipo. Hopefully they can bring back Bruce Brown. He's a center in a guard's body. He's very energetic. He does a lot of his damage as a scorer in the paint, but he's a defender who can defend 1 through 5. And I personally think if they can look at guys like how Otto Porter, look if it would be a great addition. JaVale McGee, Thomas Bryant, Nick Batum, all these guys I predict for them to be looking at, okay, that I mentioned. And I think it just would help them tremendously to have two-way guys, even like a Thaddeus Young. For a backup center, I think really if they look around the market, also Kyle Anderson would be a great fit for them. But I look at this market and I think, you got to go for a guy who has some size. Isaiah Hartenstein, who's just going to be a rebounder. You just need a guy who can rebound the board and maybe switch. That's why I think bringing back Nick Claxton would be huge. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. Like and subscribe.